we have done is basically freshened it up. We've completely rebuilt the motor. We've rebuilt the transmission, power steering pump. We have taken out the old York type compressor, which is a big, cumbersome pump that vibrates and carries on. And we have put in this rotary compressor, and we're going to put in new AC lines, and we're going to also put in a high efficiency condenser so that the air conditioning in this car works better than it did before. And when you turn the compressor on, you don't feel any drag on the motor. These compressors are amazing. We have gone through the back of the car. If you look, all of these pipes have been re-chromed, anodized. If you look at back here, this rear end has been taken out, and all of this stuff has been freshened up and cleaned up. It has new spring mount rubbers, top and bottom. It's got a new boot. The assembly has been taken completely apart and resealed. These tend to leak here, and they tend to leak at the boot here. All of this stuff is new. Okay, we've freshened up the complete rear end. We've done new wheel bearings, emergency brake shoes, brake discs, brake calipers. One of the brake calipers was defective. It was sticking and binding, so we replaced the brake calipers. Also going to replace fuel hoses on it. That's the next thing. We did brake hoses on it and differential mount up top. So everything back here is done.
It's a nice car.
Beautiful car.
Yeah. And it makes it nice to have someone working on it that knows what he's doing.
Drive shaft is done. Transmission is done. Engine is done. Front suspension is done. This is going to be a sweet car when we get it going. And we're probably going to spend about another 2 or 3 days putting things together, and then it'll be done. And the customer's going to be extremely happy.
No. I went through the whole thing. So when we were buying...
We're going to put the flywheel on the back of the motor. We're going to put sealant on these stretch bolts. These have a specific torque that they're supposed to be tightened to. So we will look up the torque. All right? It's 40 Newton meters plus 90 degrees. But we're going to look it up in the TDM so that we know for sure that's what it is. Okay? And then we're going to take this little tranny and we're going to hook the back of the motor. But prior to doing that, we're going to make sure that this linkage is all moving smooth and free. And we've already gone through the stuff on the inside of the transmission. We're going to pull the front cover off, and we're going to do a new radial seal on the front pump, and we're going to do a new O-ring on the front pump. And all that stuff is sealed up so that it doesn't have any leaks. This transmission is like a middle version. Okay, the early stuff was the GM and automatic transmissions that they came out with early on were really slippery and funky and didn't shift properly, and they were a mess. This is kind of in the middle of the later stuff and the early stuff. No, this is the standard engine that goes in the vehicle. It's been overhauled and refreshed and made to be used. And this thing is going to be sweet. Come on in. Come on in. Okay.
Yep.
Sean, you good?
Yep.
Ooh, she's pretty. Come on down.
I think we're sitting so.
Okay, hold it. Hold it. Come on down. Wait, skosh. Come on down a skosh. Hold it. Sean, grab that towel. All right, Sean, you're watching the battery
Yeah.
box.
Watching all this shit.
This is gonna go there.
Yeah.
Okay? Seth, we're looking great. Come on down.
If we can come in.
Come in a skosh.
In,
Yeah.
in, more,
More.
in.
Okay, right there.
Look at that.
I gotta twist it now.
It's tight.
Come on down. Okay, we're about on the engine mount. Stop.
You want to snake a bolt through? While you,
We're like,
You gotta come in a little bit more.
we're right. I'm pretty much right above it.
the motor's got a bit of a twist this
Yeah, I
way,
see
so
it.
you're gonna have to.
Okay, I'm over the mountain now.
Okay.
Here, I'm gonna scoot the back of this thing
Go.
your direction.
That's good.
There we go.
Just settle. All right, so to come down a skosh, Seth.
You guys have it twisted counterclockwise. Oh, the whole car is twisted that way.
I'm like,
Coming down.
I'm like
Hang on.
an inch ahead of this mount.
You're an inch ahead, as in
As in,
it needs to go back still.
yeah.
That's tight back there. They put the head right up against the firewall.
And it'll settle on both the mounts. And then the fun begins. You gotta be a contortionist to do this.
Your direction.
This is right there, I like that. There are some cooling hoses that you want to get affixed while you're going in as well. Like that. Okay.
You need the bolt.
I like that right there. Hang on.
Here over.
I need some down. Alright, so see how. So what we're doing here is we're installing this rebuilt, beautiful motor. And some would say this is a moment of truth, but I don't think that that's an accurate assessment. I think this is about 10 hours away from the moment of truth. But we're excited. Right, guys?
Oh yeah. This is a sight I've been waiting to see.
So we're going to fasten the front engine mounts so that it holds the motor into place, and then we're going to lift the car and put the cross member on in the back. Oh, I like that. And we need this so that we can get real close to the project, right? Put it up in the air and let's get the cross member on here. So we've got the front secured. We're gonna pick it up in the air and we're gonna put the cross member on. And the cross member on a 280 SL on any convertible is really important. Come on down. Because these cars, they'll twist and flex. So the cross member actually holds the center of the car down below together. And you'll see in a moment what I'm talking about.
Come along, some ratchet straps.
How you doing in there? You good?
Yeah, lay down the boss in there looks perfect.
Go. So now we're going to secure the transmission cross member slash support, because it holds the tunnel together about this far. Normally a cross member is about this wide. These are like this wide, and it actually adds rigidity to the underside of the car because there's no top. So if you take stuff from here, you have to make sure the underside of the car is rigid. Later model cars will use strut bars that go across in the back and then across in the front. That's our cross member down there. Normally they're quarters.
That's what I would do.
Yeah,
That's what I always do. Like where the screws at?
All right, where are the bolts for the flex disc, Sean?
Just gonna get this under here. That way you don't have to worry about.
Getting this drive shaft secured to the back of the transmission at the same time we're going in. Hold this, please. Shine a light. I should have shine a light up in there. I can't see. See, we should have done this a little bit different. We should have put that tranny down on last. Yeah. So,
After this is all.
see the hole right there in the center?
Yeah.
We want to stick that into the tranny. Alright, I need my pry bar because this drive shaft doesn't want to move. It's collapsed all the way. You know what? I need to relieve the drive shaft.
It's going down.
It's going up.
We're going to relieve the drive shaft here. This is the center support, and this is a spline, and it actually is adjustable in and out. So what we want to do is we want to relieve the spline so that I can move the drive shaft forward. Keep me pressed there. Thank you. So I want to just get onto this thing anywhere I can and move it. So this. I'm going to take this bad boy and go like that. You want to make sure that you're in the spline. Okay, so that little joint right there, we got to be inside. Drop the tranny down a little bit. Is that block of wood still upstairs?
Yes.
All right. I want to ditch the block of wood. Hang on. So I'm going to raise this up. Go ahead. So now that we've got this screw jack here, Mike, we can eliminate our little block of wood trick. And we're going to make it so that we can drop that transmission down a little bit so that we can actually access the flex disc and get that put on. The flex disc or joint disc is what hooks the transmission up to the rear end. Okay, so come down a little bit. Come on. Keep coming. Keep coming. Bring this down to about here. Right there is good, thank you. Alright, so let's get this custom. I don't even know what this is. It's a Sean thing.
I didn't even.
You can do that?
No, believe it or not. That was pre-me.
Alright. So here we go. Okay, where are my bolts? Thank you. So you put these things on, and the washer always goes on the rubber.